I don't know if it's just me, but the Nintendo Switch seemed more and more intriguing every single day to purchase. Despite having all these handhelds, there's something about the Nintendo Switch that I knew would bring the inner child out of me and honestly bring back all those childhood memories I've ever had. So what did I do? I purchased a Nintendo Switch 2 and honestly, it ended up being the best companion for all these handhelds. And not only is it for these handhelds, but I believe if you have a PC or a console, it's honestly something that you should still purchase and put into your arsenal. So let's get right into it. Let's deep dive into why I believe the Nintendo Switch is something that you should purchase. But before we do, my name's Christian Herrera, and if this is your first time here in this channel, welcome. I love being able to do tech review products like this where I can show you what it's like to use each and every single one of these on an everyday use. And also, I love to be able to tinker with these things, whether it's doing emulation or plugging it into an eGPU, or what is it like when these devices run on a 49-inch monitor. I like to give you these use case scenarios just in case you're about to purchase your first handheld, and honestly, when these things are going up in price, I know your hard-earned money needs to go to the right device because there's no always returning and exchanging. So anyways, hopefully this video helps, but the Nintendo Switch. Why do I believe the Nintendo Switch is worth it? Let's start off with the price. The price on the Nintendo Switch 2 is starting at $450 brand new. That's actually the cheapest compared to all these devices here. The Steam Deck is at $550 for an OLED version. We have the Xbox Rog Ally X at $1,000, and then the Lenovo Legion Go 2. I don't know what they're trying to do here, but I think they're trying to set a new trend where all devices try to go up, and hopefully they do not, but that's $2,000. So if budget is your main concern, $450 for something that you can play fun games, and honestly even games that are coming like Pragmata or Resident Evil, the Nintendo Switch is awesome. So keep that in mind, $450 for only this beast. And if you already have a console or PC or any of these other handhelds, for only $450 you get to play these exclusives, which leads me to the games, the game selection. This is probably where my biggest gripe is because I love to purchase my games on Steam Deck so they can move from device to device or play across the board, or even if you have a PC, play on your PC. And on the Nintendo Switch, when I purchase something on Steam, it won't end up on my Nintendo Switch. Or vice versa, when I purchase something here like Pragmata, it will not end up on any of my other devices. So that's something that stinks, so keep that in mind. However, what's neat about this thing is it's starting to play those AAA games that are super popular right now, again, like Pragmata and like Resident Evil. Now, Crimson Desert, that's another thing. That game is not on this device, and some games are not gonna be able to be on here, and that stinks. Now, games like Mario and all those games that I was talking about that brought the inner child out of me, Mario or Kirby or Super Smash Bros, things like that, that's strictly on the Nintendo Switch unless you do something you're not supposed to do, which is emulation. And again, in my opinion, emulation's not always the smoothest. I've tried it before on the Steam Deck and it still lags, and it just, you never know if you got a good ROM file and it goes all the way halfway through the game and then it just crashes and you can't even play. So that's something to keep in mind. Have some peace of mind to know that your Nintendo Switch is gonna be able to handle the game from start to finish. And emulation, sometimes that's not the case. However, again, it's still pretty neat that you can do emulation, so the Steam Deck is also a great device to just pair with these things if you want to just swap over those saves, because that is actually possible to just bring over your save from the Nintendo Switch over to the Steam Deck. But as far as games go, that's my take on this. You still get those nostalgic games, those Mario games, and again, those newer games that are just kind of, developers are starting to just tweak to be able to run on this device. Now, what about screen size? Well, we all know that the Lenovo Legion Go 2 has the most beautiful screen out of all handhelds. It's the biggest, it's the brightest, and honestly, it's OLED, and it has all the bells and whistles that you need. Now, honestly, my next follow-up device that I would choose based on screen is the Nintendo Switch. Now, it's not an OLED, but they did something to the screen where it's just nice and bright and easy on the eyes. Now, it's bigger than the Steam Deck, and it's bigger than the Xbox Rog Ally X. So that's something that just brings attention to me. I love the devices that are a little bit bigger, like the Lenovo Legion Go 2, and the Steam Deck does just that. My least favorite screen is the Xbox because it's just tiny, and honestly, when you're paying $1,000, I at least want to get something that seems like it's worth your money. And even though the Steam Deck is OLED and it is nice, the brightness is not as good as the Nintendo Switch. So that's why Nintendo Switch is in second place. So compared to all these devices, the Nintendo Switch screen is up there, even though it's not OLED. But what about ergonomics? Of course, I gotta give first place to the Xbox Rog Ally X. Ever since I put this back in my arsenal, I've been able to play those multiplayer games like Call of Duty, Apex, and actually play without having to hook up these devices to an eGPU or to a TV. Or for the Nintendo Switch, buy a Pro controller. Because the Xbox Rog Ally X, I can actually do it just straight off the device itself. In the Nintendo Switch, it's a little flat on the back, but thankfully, thanks to JSOX, they have this case that looks phenomenal on this thing and honestly gives it that grip that you need, and it feels just like all these other handhelds now. It makes it feel like it's actually, you can play competitively on it, and honestly, the texture on this thing is phenomenal. I know everybody talks about kill switch case, but I'm telling you, for $35 only, the JSOX case is phenomenal. And I love the front cover here, and it makes it so easy to travel with. All you have to do is put this front plate on and literally just stick it in your backpack, and I'm telling you, it feels very protected. It doesn't feel like it's gonna get a scratch on it. It's just very well made. Again, 35 bucks, you can't beat that. And honestly, transparently, they didn't tell me to say anything. I actually reached out to them and asked them if we could do a collab because I loved the case on the Steam Deck, and they said yes. So they sent me a couple screen protectors, cases, sling bags, and honestly, I cannot recommend JSOX enough. So go check them out. Links in the description. It's $35, you can't beat it. If I had to rank these from first to last, it would probably be the Xbox Rog Ally X. It has the best ergonomics by far. And then the Nintendo Switch because of the JSOX case. If it wasn't for the JSOX case, then it'd be the Steam Deck, then the Nintendo Switch, then the Lenovo Legion Go 2. So if you're wondering how they rank, that's how I'd rank them. So ergonomic wise, it's still really good device. Now, my biggest gripe with this thing is that the games are actually starting to get expensive. It's about $70, and the game selections on here is not that great. We still only have some exclusives like Donkey Kong Bonanza and Mario Kart Open World. And those are the two only exclusive games for this. Other than that, and you can get games much cheaper on Steam, and they go across the board if you have multiple of the same devices. So that's my biggest gripe about the Nintendo Switch 2. But honestly, other than that, if I had to start over and budget was my biggest concern and all I had was $500 to work with, I'd definitely start with the Nintendo Switch. Not because I had to, but because honestly you get the most bang for your buck, and it's super easy to travel with. It's actually my preferred companion to travel with now. Even though it was the Steam Deck before, it's definitely now the Nintendo Switch 2. And because when I do travel, I'm not traveling because I want to go play my Steam Deck. I travel because I have some extra time throughout the day from doing gigs or videography or whatever the case may be. Maybe I have an hour or so, and the Nintendo Switch is super easy to just be able to boot up and pick up right where I left off. So the Nintendo Switch, if I were to recommend it to you, I think it's definitely worth it. If money wasn't a concern at all, I'd definitely pair it with the Lenovo Legion Go 2, and my sidekick would be the Nintendo Switch. If you had a little bit more of what I consider a medium budget, definitely do these two in the middle, the Xbox Rog Ally X and the Nintendo Switch. But that's my take. If you're looking for a device and you're trying to figure out where to start and budget isn't your main concern, I definitely recommend the Nintendo Switch. It's a great place to start. You're gonna have tons of fun with it, and honestly, you can't beat it. And I'd still even recommend it if you had a console or a PC or any other handheld, because it's the best companion for all those things. And if you like this video, please don't forget to push that subscribe button. It definitely helps the channel. Go check the description below. I'm gonna have a lot of these devices and what I use to film this video down below. And also, if you don't mind, comment down below what kind of video you wanna see next. But other than that, I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for stopping by. See ya.